Howdy folks, it's Friday, it's the 22nd of November 2013. Thought I'd show you this little purchase I made a few years ago that didn't get much workout, shall we say. I've fired it a few times and nice gun, but there just seemed to be something missing, if you know what I mean. Now, for the longest time, for defensive shotguns, you know, I had this little cutie here, and great shotgun. However, not totally trouble-free. I hear some of the older Remingtons, you know, are a lot better. This will do good so long as you're shooting high brass rounds in it. But the minute you start to get into the cheap stuff, you know, the infamous Winchester white box, or even, you know, Remington cheap rounds, the birdshot, etc. Once this chamber heats up, okay, and that thin-walled plastic hull gets in contact with that hot chamber, and that hull expands inside of the chamber, seems like the extractor is having a hard time getting that brass out. That's not good. Not good at all. Anyway, a few years ago, I bought me one of these. And just hang with me, folks, while I get past the heater over here. Anyway, zero this in. Well, this little contraption right here, called a Benilli M4. And like I mentioned before, things that seemed to be missing from it, most importantly, was, let's take a swing over here, if this tripod will cooperate with me, was right there, is the magazine. Okay? Okay, now the one that originally came with it could only hold a few rounds. Again, you went through those rounds real quick. One of the beauties about this shotgun here is this mother is the fastest firing shotgun I think I've ever seen. I mean, this thing is like lightning speed. And if you know the history of the Benelli M4, this is the shotgun that was chosen by the United States Marine Corps. And oh boy, did the Eagle, Globe, and Anchor pick a doozy. I mean, this shotgun is a masterpiece, in my opinion. Now, to get up to the configuration you see now, well, you got to go through all these legal loopholes with this 922R stuff in order to be legal. It means that you have to change out a bunch of parts on your, you know, current shotgun in order to get it into this configuration to be legal. Even though there's nothing wrong with the shotgun that you bought, it's just you have to go through these legal, I don't know, obstacle course. Anyway, for years I had this shotgun, and I wasn't going to do anything with it, you know, except take it out and shoot it for recreation now and then. And then one day I watched a video from Pete over at the Armory Channel. Yo, Pete! Right? If you guys are not already subscribed, the link will be down below. Make sure you subscribe. And make sure you watch his video on how to convert you know, a new Benelli store-bought into this type of configuration. He explains a lot better than me, of course. Anyway, what I did was I watched that video, And one of the things he did, which was interesting, was he removed the magazine. Okay? And for me, that was the biggest obstacle, because I'd seen other videos before. I thought, nah, not me. You know, not a chimp like me. I screw up everything mechanical. Something will go wrong. Anyway, after watching his video, it looked real simple. So, got in one of those moods one of those days and said, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. So I did, as you can see. Now, where are we? In Pete's video, you'll see, and other videos also, I've seen other videos, people will say that, let me show you real quick, that where the magazine tube, the old magazine tube plugs into the receiver right about here, okay, you need a heat gun, and some people will heat it up and do circle motions, this type of thing. Well, what happened with me was, when I have the old magazine in, I got the heat gun, okay, turned it all the way up, the highest setting that you can possibly go, okay, and all I did was keep the heat gun in one place, and I'm telling you what, in 3 minutes, it was off like that. You just, the key to it is, like Pete said in his video, you heat it up, you let it run hot, and here's the key thing. You got to take a twist on it. Every so often, you check to see if the the Loctite is liquid enough to where you can turn it. And once it gives, that's it. It just starts unthreading, boom, pops right off. And you take your new magazine, I went for the full length. I was like, you know what, just go for it. Instead of, I mean, it's up to you if you want to get the other one, or it's just a magazine extension, that's your choice. For me, I said, nah, I want the full length, kind of like the original military one. Now, some people's videos, they'll put like a ton of Loctite on it and then thread it in. Me, I kind of went, nah, I'm going to put a dab of thread, temporary Loctite, and thread it in. Okay, so that's what I did. Went in. Of course, you can get the kit. If you call the folks that make this aluminum tube here, that it's super light. I mean, when I picked it up from the post office, it was so light. The box was so light. I thought, did they ship me air? I thought if I let go of the box, it was going to float away like a balloon. That's how lightweight it is. But you can call them, and you can ask them about the package. And if I'm not mistaken, they have the whole package. It's to where, you know, you don't need to go shopping around for all these different parts from all these different companies until you get all your parts counts to be 922R compliant, that they make it easy. They have the whole package. Just say, give me the whole package. And they'll ship it. And, you know, where is this thing? Yeah, I got the Mesa Tactical stock on this thing. And I got the, like Pete would call, or Pete would describe it, right there, the new charging handle, as he calls it, the soda can. You know, I'm thinking about changing out that charging handle. I mean, it works great. It works a lot better than the original one. The original one is just way too small. So I got this one, and the one thing that I kind of sort of don't like about it is the checkering in it is super aggressive. I mean, it like bites right into my hand, which is okay if you're wearing gloves, but if you're not, so I don't know. I may experiment and, you know, try for another charging handle. But anyway, I did that. The grip on this thing, feels just like the original Benelli one. Okay. Oh, let me tell you this too. If you do decide to convert your Benelli, make sure you do this, because this is a hollow stock, and when you get the stock, it comes with a new screw, and you just thread the screw into, you know, whatever the tube that's here. And when I did that, took it out, you know, cranked it down as hard as I could, took it out back, started firing some rounds through it. So after just a few rounds, I thought I felt a wobble. I was like, the hell is that? So I checked, and sure enough, the stock was wobbling. So I fired like 2 more rounds through it, and after that, it felt so loose that, you know, you just kind of say to yourself, you got to cease fire. Something's wrong here. It felt like if I had taken one more shot, that the stock right here would have dropped, completely separated from the rest of the gun. So anyway, cleared the